All right, we're recording now. I just want to say hello to all the folks that are joining us for the first time here. Really excited to have you guys. But I wanted to say that this is going to be a dragging, that I'm going to be dragging somebody throughout this whole entire motherfucking shit. And if you're not here for people being dragged, if you're not here for people getting fucking straight up slayed because they fucking had the game fucked up and they had me fucked up, then you should probably leave, okay? Because I'm going to be slaying, coming for folks, and letting folks fucking know what the fuck the tea is. Because 2014 is the year of no silence. It's the year of naming names and calling out our fucking oppressors. And bitch, I fucking implore you to get on that tip too. I implore you to fucking give a fucking shit about the folks that are in your fucking space. But before I get into that shit, before I get into the call out that I've been trying to make, I wanted to just address some shit that just popped off on my fucking blog, bitch. First, I want to say I found out about the Madonna shit like last night, and I was like, swerve, you know, Madonna, what are you thinking? You know, to be a white woman who is mothering, mentoring, whatever the fuck, a black child in their households, to be talking about some dis nigga, it freaks me out because it makes me think like, okay, you saying dis nigga in a fucking Instagram, what are you saying in real life? What are you saying behind the fucking cameras? You know what I mean? And it's shit like that. You don't notice. We will have, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but I'm gonna say we have a video that the police thought was prudent for folks to see. The police, I don't know where, I think this was in Chicago, they found a video on somewhere of a little child being, you know, talked to with mad swears, mad cussing, and they called it thug culture, you feel me? But where is the same stigma for these white parents out here, for these white folks who are raising black and brown and yellow and red children that are not out here fucking like taking these like fucking, first of all, courses about white privilege need to be fucking taught, especially to fucking white parents, so they don't perpetuate that shit onto their fucking children. Because I notice a lot of these mixed folks, a lot of these folks who are light-skinned, who think, oh, I'm white because I got a white parent, they think that they have white privilege, but what they really have is light-skinned privilege. What they really are operating within is white, is light-skinned or white passing privilege. They do not have white privilege, and not to say that it's not harmful, but it's to say it's a stemming of. And I feel like understanding that separation is like a big part of understanding like what you're complicit in and what you are not complicit in, okay? But with that said, I made the remark that, you know, white women typically, when I see white women with black children, I'll see them being ashy. I'll see some black children, some brown children be ashy looking, having their hair unkempt and shit like that. And I don't mean like unkempt in a way that's like they have freeform curls and their hair is just, you know, looking just luxurious in their own way. I mean that this child does not have no product in their hair in terms of like butters, oils, something like that, to be working with black hair, to be working with their children's hair. You know what I mean? I see black children ashy as fuck in the care of white folks. So I wonder, you know, why are we not doing this? And I notice from dating white dudes, and I don't know if this stems to white women as well, but like white dudes will say to me, oh, like, are you putting on cocoa oil or da-da-da, like that's kind of greasy. And it's like, bitch, my skin needs oil. My skin needs to be sealed, bitch, because these harsh winters, my body is not made for this shit. Diaspora nigga, like my black and brown body was not from this motherfucker, okay? I'm in the cold and shit. My skin is fucking turning white and shit and fucking getting crusty and flaky. You wanna know why? Because I don't have enough fucking oil. Because I don't have enough fucking nutrients in my fucking skin. I can only imagine what it's like to be a black or brown child being raised, adopted by a white person and not having no motherfucking nutrients in your fucking skin or your fucking hair. Like, that shit is fucking neglect and abuse. But we don't talk about that shit. We too busy talking about how the fuck there's thug culture. How some folks who are barely fucking adults themselves are raising children. Like, we don't talk about like the systems. We talk about the folks, but we don't ever go in on white folks for the fuckery. We don't ever go in. So that's a part of this video. Part of this video is going in on shit that I'm saying that's complicit with whiteness, that I'm saying that I'm fucking speaking out against. Because I notice a lot of folks will not talk about these white folks adopting these black and brown babies. You know what they will? They will center the conversation around these black and brown babies being saved. Because every narrative of a black and brown child being fucking adopted has some tragedy behind it. And they don't ever attribute that to colonialism. You know what I mean? They'll go abroad where America has pillaged, has taken all the resources, and be trying to pick up a baby like they doing something. You see? This is some fucking madness. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how white people help perpetuate fucking supremacy and fucking empirical ass motherfucking fucking regimes. We don't talk about that shit, but that's real. White folks really do go abroad and pick up babies that are left by decimated motherfucking places by the fucking US. So it's like, damn, the same people who are getting our fucking tax dollars, our coins and shit for fucking their whack ass CDs and shit like that, they're taking their little coins abroad, going to buy a little black or brown fucking Asian baby, and they want to bring them back to the US and fucking act like, because this baby is a privileged baby, that like nothing fucked up is happening to this child. And I feel like it's a really fucking big wake up call to all these white folks out here who are raising their fucking black and brown children. If you're out here worried about, you know, the racism you're facing, you're not fucking getting it. People are not talking about you, bitch. They're talking about your child. They're abusing your child. They're being racist towards your child. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of the white person that came at me talking about, you wouldn't believe the blatantly racist comments that I have to endure from my friends and family. Bitch, you don't have to endure that. You feel me? As a white person, you have mad power to say no. And that's the fucked up part about it, is me saying this shit, I don't have mad power. So people really will try to fucking take the little power I do have and try to use that against me. Whereas if you're white and you're saying these things, all that's going to happen is people are going to call you a race traitor, call you a hater, or some shit like that. Nothing really is going to happen to you for standing up against whiteness. Or rather, the stakes are smaller for you. But as I was saying, it bothers the fuck out of me as someone who is also, my mother is a white passing person of color. Our hair texture is not the same. My mother does for her hair what white folks do to their hair. My mom don't need to fucking deep condition. My mom don't need to seal her fucking hair. My mom don't need to do a lot of the things that I do to my fucking hair. And she's still black. But that doesn't mean that my experience wasn't fucked up. It doesn't mean that my experience, it was not fucking racist. You feel me? So, you know, I definitely had to deal with, like, you know, being in a household where even though me and my brother, Javon, we were both black with black type hair, my mother and my little brother had more mixed hair, and therefore they could use the white products. And our hair was getting dried the fuck out. But we didn't know what the fuck to do about that. And it's like a lack of education, and it's not just white folks, but I noticed my mother's a white passing person who does consider themselves black, who is black, but at the same time, her experience is not going to be the same as mine. So I still had to endure fuckery at Whiteness's expense. At the hands of Whiteness, I had to still endure fuckery. You know, even in my black household, you know, quote unquote, because there's still so much going on within blackness. So it just boggles my fucking mind that white folks will really try to take up space talking about the racism they've endured, when the only reason why white folks are coming out at you talking about some racist shit is because you have a black, brown, multicultural fucking child, or whatever the fuck you want to call your child that's not fucking white. If you have a non-white child and you're a white person, it would behoove you to fucking understand some shit. It would behoove you to fucking educate yourself on your child and their care. But you notice so many fucking times it's not the fucking case. So again, the white person that wanted to come at me on my blog, and the other white person wanted to come in their defense talking about how do you know they don't defend their child? Because they didn't just then. I'm over here talking about white folks and calling them out, and they would rather talk about how other folks are racist toward their child and how they have to endure it. You see that kind of code? You see how they're talking? They're saying, you know what? I see that you're saying white folks need to do better, but I'm going to tell you that there are other white folks in my fucking life who are doing worse than me. What the fuck are you really saying? You're saying that people are abusing your child and you feel abused by proxy, and that's more important. No, it's not. Sorry, bitch. You know what I mean? People want to act like I'm so mean. I'm mean when you saying some wild shit. I'm mean when you saying some blatantly racist shit. I'm not nice to racists. I'm not nice when we're talking about whiteness. I'm not going to be fucking nice. There's too many nice people talking about white people. You feel me? White people get too much niceness, and I'm sick of the shit, and I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of knowing that when we talk about blackness, I'm sick of knowing that when I watch crimes, or whenever I watch crimes, whenever I watch the news, and they talk about crimes, I know when it's somebody black and when it's not, just by the way they're fucking talking. So I refuse to be awake. I refuse to be awake in a world that wants me to be asleep and be acting like when niggas wake up, I'm supposed to be sitting next to them stroking their fucking hand. Hell no. When I woke the fuck up, it was a cold splash of water on my face, and I've been up, okay? I've been awake. I ain't been asleep since. So it's like I refuse to coddle somebody out of their little groggy state. I'm not gonna do it. You need to figure it out on your fucking own. If you can't see that spaces are fucking open and that you're able to fucking take part in this, the fact that white people are able to watch me fucking talk about this, how do you not see your privilege? How do you not see your privilege here? You feel me? You wouldn't be getting this fucking tea if I could fucking organize and fucking make it a fucking space where only folks that look like me and experience what I experienced could have. But as you see, the way that things are set up, we have to share with white people. White people blatantly take, but we have to share. So again, when black folks and brown folks and people of color are sharing with you, why do you fucking consume and don't fucking really consume? Like, why do you eat it, but you don't really taste it? Why is that shit? You know, ask yourself. See? And that's the other shit, you know, when little brown babies are first born, their hair changes, you know what I mean? I noticed that, like, my hair changed when I was a little baby. Everybody's hair changed. At first, you might have a little bit of silky bird's nest or some shit like that. When I was born, I had a little afro. I was born with a little ass afro, and I came out of my white passing mother's vagina, and dead ass, bitch, I experienced racism from the womb, bitch! Can we talk about it? Fuck! Actually, you know, when I came out of my mom's fucking pussy, can we talk about how it was two white nurses in the room and gonna look at me like I'm some motherfucking mistake? Like, what the fuck? Like, these niggas had a Twilight Zone minute. Like, they couldn't believe that there was a black baby coming out of a white fucking pussy, or a white passing pussy that they thought was fucking white, because they see my white grandma sitting next to my white passing mama, and they was trying to figure out how the fuck a black baby came out, not even understanding that interracial fucking couples exist, not understanding that fucking biracial folks like have children that may not look like them, just not understanding motherfucking straight up science. I'm like, bitch, how are you a nurse? How are you surprised? And true tea, this was 89. This was 80 motherfucking 9, bitch. About to be motherfucking 90. Supposed to be 19 motherfucking 90, bitch. And it just didn't even matter. People still were acting brand new. People straight up asked my mom, wow, you know, where's her father? You know, then it started getting real wild. They was looking for my dad, wondering where my fucking dad was at. And my dad was a fucking buster. So it's just like, people was judging my mom based on the fact that my dad was a buster. So it's like, damn, it's just hella misogyny, hella fucking racism, all shit popping off on my mom, who is getting the nice nastiness a white lady would get. But as soon as they see my grandfather pop in, as soon as they seen my brown skin fucking grandfather come in and talk to my fucking white passing mama, they knew that bitch wasn't white no more. And then what the fuck was the treatment like? It got real bad, and I don't want to trigger nobody, but like, things are fucked up for people of color who are especially raised by white folks or white passing folks. Things are fucked up. Because the white folks and the white passing folks, they don't check their privilege enough. It's not happening enough. And the children fucking suffer. And the white folks want to talk about it like it's them. It's not happening to you. When they talk about your baby's nappy fucking hair, they're not talking about your fucking hair, because it's not fucking nappy. You don't have no nappy hair. So how the fuck are you going to sit there and try to absorb that pain? You can't. So it's mind-boggling to me that, like, people would have something to say to me when I'm calling them out for some real shit. I told you, white people is racist. White people be out here coming for fucking people of color, or rather children of color, who are adopted by or under the care of, or perhaps being cared for by white folks or white passing folks. It's real out here. Ain't nobody lying to you. Sorry, I'm neglecting the chat as always. Thank you for loving my eyeshadow. Wow. Exactly. Y'all know. Yeah, I think that it's just like, we're not at all trying to figure out why the fuck, you know, all these like biracial, light skinned, white passing folks out here have such a fucking complex. And it really comes from the household a lot of times. You know, a lot of these times, like, these folks will be in a toxic environment. I know for myself, my mother is not on top of politics. My mother, and that's not her fault. Again, politics are very much like, they're very academic based, and I'm not gonna say that like that's an excuse. I'm gonna say that that's the reality of it. A lot of the things that I say, some folks are not gonna want to listen to, because simply it sounds too academic, and it sounds like something that like it could be like non-listened to, just for me being a black fucking female assigned person. Like, people could just like not want to fucking listen to me. But also for the simple fact that like this shit is like, you know, written by black ladies, it's fucking defined by black ladies. The fact that the legacy of black womanism is like what I'm preaching and what I'm talking about, it's obvious that folks will not fucking want to listen or put any stock in this. But at the same time, it's still it still bugs me out, you know, when I talk to my mom, how much she has absorbed in terms of oppression, how much misogyny she has internalized, how much anti-blackness she has internalized. It's very depressing and really saddening, and I feel like sometimes when I'm talking to her, I really am not going to get through, so it's really hard to even have communication with her. And that's how, like, unfortunately things work, and or rather can spiral when you're trying to educate yourself, because you start to feel like you know something, and or rather people start to feel like perhaps you're trying to be an elitist, because again, this shit is mad rooted in academia. So, you know, again, when you start to come out and say post-slave disorder, excuse me, post-slavery disorder, or post-traumatic slave disorder, or you say things like the global plantation, or you say things that are like rooted in like black feminism works, obviously folks are not going to feel you as hard as if like you were like a white person perhaps giving them a book. You know what I mean? Even if black folks do write a book, it's still not legitimized because, again, a black person wrote it. So we don't want to give too much stock to a black person and their worldview for some fucking reason, right? Why is it when a person of color speaks out on the oppression and shit and the fucked upness of the white RANT world we live in, we're against white people, we want to get rid of all white people? Exactly. That's the fucked up part about it. I think like the thing that fucks me up is with any privilege, you know, the thing is it can be like, I don't want to conflate privileges, but I want to say like nobody who is disabled wants an able-bodied person to be disabled. You know what I mean? To endure that trauma, or rather to endure the trauma that they may have faced, or to endure the fucking oppression that they have faced. They want to be listened to, and I think that that's the fucked up part, is that people with privilege think that somebody wants them to give it up. You can't give it up, bitch. It's gonna be there. But we want you to fucking acknowledge. We want you to understand, and we want you to use your privilege for positive things. So it's just really fucked up how like people with privilege really think that they gotta go to the motherfucking max just to do the smallest thing, like just to do like the things that are like the easiest things to do. They go to the fucking maximum of what they think they have to do. It's just really interesting. It's like white folks hear that they have privilege and then automatically they think it means they gotta die. You feel me? They be taking it to the max. So it's like when you have a conversation like that, it's not based in reality. So it's like when you talk to white folks sometimes, it's just like kind of hard, because it's like, again, no one is fucking saying hurt white folks, no one's saying kill white folks, no one's saying any of these things, but white folks feel like that's implied simply because they have privilege. When in reality, what most folks who are living under the fucking strict ass oppressive ass lines of whiteness, they are constantly fucking being killed. They are constantly fucking losing their fucking lives and losing the things that are important to them, losing people close to them because of the privilege they don't have. So it's just interesting how people with privilege want to sit there and act like what they can't give up, want to go to the biggest thing that they could give up, which is life, but they won't give up the privilege. You feel me? They won't give up the privilege. They won't give up the ability to fucking not see the privilege anymore. They won't give that up. They would rather just live through life without seeing the shit, and that sucks, because as someone who's awakened, who's awoke as fuck, I can't sit back and watch folks be sleep and not act like that shit don't bother me. But if people are trying to be sleep and trying to get me to sleep, that makes me even more mad. You know, I think like earlier last year, I deaded somebody who I was really close to because they tried to tell me that I was going too hard at white folks. And I was like, bitch, if you really feel like all my work is to agitate white folks, fuck out of here. If you feel like all this work that I'm doing is to make white folks feel some type of way, then bitch, you're not listening to me, and I don't need you. And that's just what the fuck it was. And they finally fucking understood where I was coming from. But it's like, damn, people really don't like to fucking hear about their privilege. And I can understand that. Because I do have privileges. And at first I was too, being a shithead, not trying to listen, not trying to understand. No one's trying to fucking take shit away from you. You feel me? But that's the thing. People love privilege so much they don't realize how fucking hard they holding it. They don't realize how tight their grip is on it. They don't see that shit. Okay? It's fucked up. Now look, I realize that we got a lot of folks in here, and I do want to finish the other half of this because I did want to expose some white folks and white fuckery. But I'm gonna leave it at this and post this video, and then I'm gonna come back in a little bit. Let's say I'll come back at like 5 p.m. EST. I gotta do some packing and shit like that. But I'm gonna come back at 5 and we're gonna get into it. But I didn't think I was gonna go in on the white parents of POC folks and POC children. I didn't think I was gonna do that. So now that I am, you are the most noisiest nigga. Anyways, I'm gonna be done soon, and I'll be back, alright? We're gonna talk about these white folks that tried to play me at their fucking little establishment. So we'll be right back. Then you should probably leave, okay? Because I'm going to be slaying, coming for folks, and letting folks fucking know what the fuck the tea is. Because 2014 is the year of no silence. It's a year of naming names and calling out our fucking oppressors. And bitch, I fucking implore you to get on that tip too. I implore you to fucking give a fucking shit about the folks that are in your fucking space. But before I get into that shit, before I get into the call out that I've been trying to make, I wanted to just address some shit that just popped off on my fucking blog, bitch. First, I want to say I found out about the Madonna shit like last night, and I was like, swerve, you know, Madonna, what are you thinking? You know, to be a white woman who is mothering, mentoring, whatever the fuck, a black child in their households, to be talking about some dis nigga, it freaks me out because it makes me think like, okay, you saying dis nigga. All right, we're recording now. I just want to say hello to all the folks that are joining us for the first time here. Really excited to have you guys. But I wanted to say that this is going to be a dragging, that I'm going to be dragging somebody throughout this whole entire motherfucking shit. And if you're not here for people being dragged, if you're not here for people getting fucking straight up slayed because they fucking had the game fucked up and they had me on a fucking Instagram, what are you saying in real life? What are you saying behind the fucking cameras? You know what I mean? And it's shit like that. You know, notice, we will have, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but I'm going to say we have a video that the police thought was prudent for folks to see. The police, I don't know where, I think this was in Chicago, they found a video on somewhere of a little child being, you know, talked to with mad swears, mad cussing, and they called it thug culture, you feel me? But where is the same stigma for these white parents out here, for these white folks who are raising black and brown and yellow and red children that are not out here fucking like taking these like fucking, first of all, courses about white privilege need to be fucking taught, especially to fucking white parents, so they don't perpetuate that shit onto their fucking children. Because I notice a lot of these mixed folks, a lot of these folks who are light skinned who think, oh, I'm white because I got a white parent, they think